Hey y'all, it's Diana from the Dianaverse, and I am here today to do the new moon and Virgo forecast. So I do these videos every 2 weeks on the new and full moons. The full moon is 2 weeks away, obviously, so I will be out of town. Yes, I will be on my Scotland, Ireland trip that I have been talking about for quite a while. I am going to the source to learn all the fairy stuff that I can learn over there and work on my book with that. And so I don't know how connected I will be able to be while I'm over there. I may miss the next two forecasts, so I'm just letting you know ahead of time. I did a GoFundMe to get this new camera, which I have, which is so nice to have a professional level camera again. Really, I want to thank everyone who contributed to my GoFundMe. I'm going to put the link below if you were thinking about it but you hadn't done it yet. You can put that on there. The amounts that people sent me aren't really reflected there because it seemed like most people wanted to send me the funds through other means than GoFundMe, so you won't see all the money there, but trust me, people sent it to me and I am so grateful for that. Thank you all. So, new moon time again, new energy. This time is in Virgo. Virgo is a planet, not a planet, is a sign of the priestess. So it's the connection between the sky realms and the earth realm, and I will go into that again a little bit later. But it's a feminine energy, it's a mutable sign. So everything in this astrological wheel is based on cycles. And if you look at the cycle of Cancer through Libra, you've got Cancer, we go within, it's a water sign, and it's how do I feel about what I'm creating? How do I want to create my life? And then you've got Leo to, my camera is being weird. Okay, this is new for me, so sorry. A little blip there, it's not showing me myself now, but I guess that doesn't matter so much. Can do that. There we go. I'm learning my new camera. Okay. So Leo is about the self. It's like, yeah, I want to do this thing. This is who I am. Then you get to Virgo and you start to ground that into reality. You're like, okay, in a practical sense, what can I really do and not do? And then when you get to Libra is when you bring it to the world. That's about sharing with the other. So then you see how this all went, how this whole cycle turned out for you. So right now, our sun is moving into Virgo, and we have the new moon at Virgo. The new moon is generally in the same sign that we are in astrologically. So that's where we're going to a lot of Virgo energy right now. So thoughts can be a little overstimulated. It's ruled by Mercury, which is more of an air sign. That's why I say you're bringing it from the heavens down into the earth, because you're going from Mercury, which is an air sign, which is more thoughts and the invisible realm, right, of thoughts and electricity in the brain, into Virgo, which is an earth sign where you bring all that knowledge down into this plane. So especially when it comes around to things with work that you're doing, being of service, you can really be overstimulated mentally with that. And I like to work with polarities because I find they work really well. The polarity with Virgo energy is Pisces. So if you're feeling a little too overstimulated mentally or getting too like in a circle with your thoughts, like too obsessed with certain things, go into Pisces, where it's like everything goes and you let things flow and it's about everybody, and that kind of helps take that edge off of too much Virgo going on, right? So this is a good time for health. Virgo was a lot of health things, especially the digestive system, and it's a good time to ground in all the health routines that you might have been working on when you were in Leo, when you were like, yes, I'm gonna do the thing. I know I was a little more excited to do some of those health routines, and then things slacked a little bit. I didn't get good sleep and stuff, but now with Virgo is a good time to kind of maybe figure out how you can make that work better. Like, do I need to schedule it? If I want to do this 3 days a week, do I need to pick the days out ahead of time, write it in my little calendar? Just little things that will help you really ground that into becoming a regular routine. So we've got Mars is moving into Gemini, where it's going to be for till like next March. It's going to be there for a while because it's going to go retrograde and then forward again, and that kind of extends how long it's in that sign. So you're going to, in Gemini, again, air sign, you're going to be wanting to move a lot on thoughts. Like, I have these ideas, I want to go. So you'll have that retrograde, it'll slow you down a little bit. And there could be people coming up from the past because it's trining Pluto in Capricorn, and Pluto is about the past. And Capricorn is kind of like your structure, can even be the structure of your ideas, being that we're in Gemini. So you might hear from old people that you haven't heard from in a long time, and it makes you reflect on who was I then and who am I now. So it can help you kind of go over some of your thought structures and see if those are still a fit. It can be fun to catch up with people, and then you say, gosh, I'm so different now. Like, I would totally have different people in my life now. That can be a thing. Or it could be fun just to catch up. I've kind of had some of that going on in my own life. You could be juggling a couple of things at once. You could be wanting to work on one thing, wrapping up another thing, or you might even have two ideas. I want to try out these two things and see which one's going to be the better fit. It's trining also Uranus and Taurus in the North Node. So these are like practical things that can be your day-to-day routine, they can be your job, they can be things with your money, like where do I want to invest my money? Where do I want to focus my money, right? So we're going to be going over these things for the next few months back and forth, with things going retrograde and direct, and being in Gemini, which is already kind of a sign of duality. So anything you decide right at the moment, you're probably going to go over that again, and it's not going to be set in stone yet. So you're going to be going back over the things you've done the last year or so even, and deciding if you want to go in that direction, not go in that direction. Did I make a good decision? Do I really want to go with this new thing, or would I rather think of something else? So there could be some tension with that, because it can be stressful to have to keep trying to decide what you want to do. You could also have some breakthroughs, though. Uranus can be great for breakthroughs. So if you hear you hear something from somebody, you pay attention to things that you notice, things that are being said more than once, things that keep coming into your feed, ideas that you keep turning over. You could have sudden breakthroughs and just move in a whole different direction, but you'll probably have some back and forth with that. It's not going to be just a clear-cut thing. Saturn is still in Aquarius, so we've still got a lot of big things moving through society. I mean, that's pretty obvious if you look at the news these days. So your personal versus the society, where do I fit into all this stuff, right? It can be a little bit thought-provoking. We want to express our creative personal desires, but it's going to take some real work to turn it into something we can integrate in our lives. Having an idea is great. Executing it is a whole other thing, right? So I wish you luck on whatever projects you're doing. I know I have projects going, like my fairy storybook, which I have Patreon. Just want to remind people I have a Patreon where I do, this year I'm working all with flowers. So it's a lot of things, herbalism, foodie things, and also crafts a little bit. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, check out my Patreon. And links for my different things will be down in the show notes. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this if you want to be reminded when I post new things. Doesn't always show up in your feed if you don't subscribe or like things fairly often, and it helps me so that more people see my videos. When things get too frustrating, take an imagination break. It's kind of like a staycation, right? You can do this in your own mind. Just change little things that will make life easier, let go of things from the past that no longer support you, and take a little break to do something creative, or meet with some other people and just have fun. Like even a fun dinner for an evening can be enough refreshing break to kind of give you a new perspective and let you keep moving forward. So that can be an antidote to things getting too heavy. Let go of stuff from the past. Can really be physical things. I know I have been doing a purge, and it can be things you didn't expect to let go of sometimes. I'm kind of doing that stuff that I had ideas for, that I wanted to keep. I really like them, but I feel like they're taking up a lot of space, and I'm moving on to other directions. And so I'm letting go of a whole bunch of stuff that I didn't think I was really going to let go of, but it can free up some space, both mentally and in your living space. It could be even finances, things that I've gone over my subscriptions to things and kind of edited, like, do I really use this? Do I really need this? And I've let a bunch of things go, and it leaves space for new things. So it can be one of those times with everything retrograde where you go back over your stuff, you go back over your ideas, and you kind of clear some space so that you have some room. So with the sun moving into Virgo, Virgo is the maiden. She's kind of the priestess who, like I said, will ground things in from the cosmos into the earth plane. Ideas become reality. Stuff that you're planning becomes actual things that are happening in the world. So I heard someone recently talk about Virgo as being the mermaid that swims in the sky. It's like she's swimming through the realm of the invisible realm, like the dark matter and the realm of thoughts. So she's kind of this mermaid who can go between worlds. Because if you look at a mermaid, she's like half human, half fish, right? She's this hybrid thing, this creature. So I really liked that idea. I found that the tarot card for Virgo is the Hermit, which kind of surprised me a little bit. Makes sense in a way. That's not focusing. Let's see if I can make it focus. Well, hopefully you can see that well enough. I'm using the Kazanlar, I'm probably not pronouncing that correctly, tarot deck by Emil Kazanlar. Maybe someone can correct me on the pronunciation. But he went with the more traditional meaning of the Hermit as Saturn and Aquarius. So this card could still apply if you choose to work with the Hermit card, because we have Saturn and Aquarius right now. But that makes sense to me, that it's going within and going over thoughts. With any great leader, you often see a period in their life where they were out of the public eye and they were really refining what their message was going to be, or what their system of thought, their philosophy was going to be. So that can make sense for either for Virgo or Saturn right now. Yeah, we've got all the planets retrograde, so you could be spending some time going within, like I was just talking about. And the Hermit card could work for that. I found a different list online that had the 8 of Coins, which makes sense because Virgo is an earth sign. And I like this card because it's an artisan at work. They've reached a certain level of their profession. The 8 card, you're almost at 10 where you have success. And I really like it personally because he's weaving, and I love weaving. And it could be a he or a she, I guess. And you're weaving the tapestry of your life. So with all your plans, and the direction that you take, you're weaving the tapestry of your life. In the old Norse traditions, that would have been the Norns who wove the skein of your life. My little cheat sheet fell off. So I like that idea. And weaving and spinning and textiles are one of the oldest traditions that we have. So I can totally see an ancient Virgo coming up with this idea of spinning and weaving things, making useful items out of the plants that you see around you, processing them, or wool from the sheep or various animals that they use for wool, and turning that raw material into something that's beautiful and practical and useful. So I hope that your thoughts that you have during this new moon, whatever your intentions are, the seed that you're planting, will turn out to be something practical and beautiful for you. Yes. So that's pretty much what I have to say about the astrology. The rock friends that I'm going with, because I use more than just crystals. Sometimes I just pick up rocks because I like them. But most of the things I mention here are going to be crystals. Are obsidian. Obsidian really called to me. It's like that dark cave where you bring your thoughts and ideas to refine them as you bring them into the world. So obsidian is what I'm working with. Plant friends this month, I want lymphatic herbs. We're in a mutable sign. You want some of that moving energy in your body. So you can use dandelion, either the root or the leaves, or even the flowers. You could make dandelion fritters, and that's totally yummy, and it would still be working on you herbally. You can use dandelion. It's a great lymphatic mover. It also moves the liver, and sometimes we need the faith, because the liver represents faith. In French, the word for liver is the same as faith, le foi. You have to have faith that your plans will work, that you can bring things into reality. So we want to keep all the stuff moving that gets stagnant and weighs us down that we worry about. And then pine needles. Pine needles have a lot of vitamin C. You can make a nice tea with it. Of course, wash them off if you're in a very urban area. Pine needles with orange peel, which is also drains dampness in Chinese medicine. If you save some orange peel and dried it during orange season, that's a great combination. Tastes good and helps move fluids in the body. And I've been doing that sun meditation that I started last month. That was really fun for me. I enjoyed that. I really got a lot out of doing that regularly. So with Virgo, since she's the mermaid swimming in the stars, I'm going to go out and look at the night sky. I'm here in Seattle. It doesn't rain in the summer. We have a very dry summer, so I can go out in the summer and actually see the stars. This is like the time of year to do that here in the Pacific Northwest. So I'm going to go out and get starshine this morning. I got up super early before dawn and saw the moon, who was running away from the sun, a little crescent moon, because I'm doing this a day or so before the new moon, trying to get these a little earlier so you guys can work with it before the day of a little bit. And it's just really refreshing, that early morning glow in the sky before the sun actually comes up, and that crescent moon reminded me of when I was at Burning Man and got up super early and would hear beautiful music across the desert in the morning and see the stars and the moon and just feel really inspired. It's inspirational. So that's my word for this lunation, is inspiration. Okay, leave your comments below if any of this resonated with you, and I will see you next time, which may or may not be at the full moon, depending on the connectivity that I have while I'm in Scotland and Ireland. And I look forward to sharing all about you with this trip. Okay, bye-bye.